I might have to take a week or two off from this team. And I am being dead serious. They are burning me out right now. I don't think I've ever seen a first place team that I have watched. Granted, in the grand scheme of things, I haven't seen a lot of first place teams, but this has got to be the most frustrating I have ever been a part of. And honestly, it's more frustrating because of that. This team is more frustrating because of that. If they were 20 games out, it would be like, whatever. I don't care really that much. I'd still watch the games, still baseball, but it wouldn't be as frustrating. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. Mariners lose this one to the Blue Jays 5-4 in 10 innings. They fall to 49 and 43 on the season. Houston loses, so they do hold a 2-game lead in the American League West. This could be a 2-hour video. Truthfully, this would have been a live stream for me if I had the tools to do it today. But I just don't right now because this would just be a pure venting video. I mean, there were so many things to get on. The offense was atrocious. I thought Scott made some very odd choices, especially in that 7th inning. And then, the pitching, I don't know. It was just a mess. There's some changes that have got to be made. There are some guys that absolutely should not be on this roster on Tuesday. They need to go. And I don't care. It might be an overreaction, but sometimes you got to send a message. Sometimes you just have to say this is not acceptable. And that's Jorge Polanco, Ty France, Mitch Haniger. There's others too that I'm probably missing that I'm going through right now that should be gone as well. And they weren't the only 3 that were awful today. J.P. Crawford left a ton of guys on base. I mean, just one of the most pathetic games of the season for this team. This is their 6th straight series loss. And it's funny, we talked about the schedule getting easier for them after they beat Texas. That was their last series win, by the way, when they swept Texas. That feels like last season. They played Cleveland, who's good. Cleveland's a good team. Losing that series didn't bother me that much. I could throw that one away. Miami is atrocious. Tampa Bay is average at best. You lost that series. Minnesota's a decent team, but I mean, you can still beat them in a series. Baltimore's really good. That series didn't bother me. The reason the Baltimore series bothered me is because the play leading up to it was so bad. Had they won those series, I would have been too mad about Baltimore. Toronto's not very good either. I think they have some talent. I don't think they're Miami bad, but they're a team you should be beating in a 3-game series. And once again, this one was a little different. I shouldn't say same old, because this one was a little bit different. And on top of the fact, Mariners had a 4-1 lead, needing 9 outs to get this win, which I'd honestly forgotten about till just now, that they were that close to just winning this game. You would have gained a game on Houston. It wouldn't have been a great homestand, but you could have at least left it with a good taste in your mouth, feeling good, heading out on the road. This team has broke me. I just don't have any, I've been so optimistic. I've said, I think this team's going to division. I just can't see it right now. I don't see them going to San Diego and beating the Padres. I cannot fathom them winning one of those games. The Angels are awful enough that maybe you do, but I can't see them coming home for the homestand and beating Houston after the All-Star break. It's just in that mindset. Yes, they're going to win another series this year. They're not going to lose 100 games or anything like that. But I don't know, it just kind of is what it is, right? They're 49 and 43. Their run differential is like plus 5 or 6. That's a 500-ish run diff. They're kind of trending towards that. The only saving grace is they're in first place, which is of all the saving graces you could have, that's a good one. But even that was a 10-game lead a week ago that's now 2. And they're fortunate that it's 2 thanks to Minnesota beating Houston. And like I said, it looked like a game that was going to be a win. I thought George Kirby threw the ball pretty well, but I'm going to criticize Scott's decision in the 7th. Here's the thing, I'm okay sending, I know it was the bottom of the order, but you send George Kirby back out there in the 7th inning, and I know they had so much other atrocious stuff after that this is almost going to be a forgotten point. But you send George Kirby back out there for the 7th. We have seen Kirby go back out in games with 90-plus pitches, and it just hasn't worked. He has struggled to get those outs when he's at 90-plus pitches. He even said so last year. Now, I said that was, I think, kind of a weird thing to say in a press conference, being at 90 pitches and being done. But he said it, and it's shown this year that he has struggled when he goes back out there. And listen, if the bullpen was toast, if it had, let's say you played 13 innings Friday, 13 innings yesterday, listen, I get it, right? Sometimes it's like you got to go out there and finish it. And I will always put blame on the players. I'm getting on Scott for this, but the players still have to execute, right? So Kirby still has to go out there and be able to get outs. Let's the first two guys on, Alejandro Kirk and Jimenez. You've got to get those guys out. Doesn't do it. Goes to Ryan Stanek. Stanek has been great. He's been a great addition to the bullpen this year. But here's the thing. Stanek hasn't pitched in that fireman role much this year. And that's what that is. That's that Matt Brash role that I've talked about a lot. When you have a lot of guys on base in an inning and you've got the lead, no outs, and you need that kind of strikeout guy to come in and put out the fire. That's Matt Brash's role. That was hopefully going to be some of Gregory Santos' role. It sounds like he might be back this week, which will be good. And Andres Munoz as well to an extent. Now, it's not Scott's fault that Brash and Santos are hurt. Nothing he can do about that. But if you're going to take Kirby out and you're willing to take him out after just 2 batters and 3 pitches in that inning, why not just start Stanek with the inning? Stanek has actually not pitched in a lot of those situations. He has mostly come in with nobody on base and nobody out to start an inning. He has not come into many spots with runners on base and nobody out. Maybe with 2 outs, it's not as big of a deal because you just need to get the hitter out. With runners on, yes, you're up 3, you still just want to get the hitter out, but it's a little bit tougher of a situation there. George Springer, after striking out Kiermaier, Springer hits the 3-run home run, and the lead is gone. Listen, Kirby and Stanek are the players. They've got to get the outs there. Even if it's not the ideal situation to put those guys in, some of the blame still has to go on players. Players have to execute. But if you're willing to take Kirby out that quickly, which fine, then I think you just go to Stanek to start the inning, essentially. I think that would have been the better bet in that spot. And it's not like your bullpen was toast. Stanek didn't pitch yesterday, Voth didn't pitch yesterday, and Munoz didn't pitch yesterday. All 3 were good to go. So you had your big guns ready. And we've seen where Kirby, like I said, goes out there with 90-plus pitches and just seems to kind of lose it at that point a little bit. Maybe that's just random circumstance. There might be nothing to that with Kirby. It could just be random sample size. That's definitely possible. But, if you've got Brash healthy and locked and loaded, then I'm okay with it because you trust him more in those spots. Ryan Stanek has been so good. I'm not trying to pick on him. But he's still not quite that relief ace, I think. Although, on Friday I was saying it looks like he was. So, who knows? I thought that was mismanaged a little bit, though. I did. So, I'll be critical of Scott in that spot. I thought you should just go to Stanek to start the 7th inning. If you're willing to go to him so quickly, because Kirby gave up 2 hits through 3 pitches, so clearly that you were ready with the hook there, then I feel like that might have been the best bet. If not, then maybe you let Kirby face Kiermaier, let him face Springer. I don't know. And it stinks too because Stanek threw a beautiful split to Kiermaier to get him, and then Springer hits a 3-run home run. I'll give Stanek credit. I thought he hung in there and got out of that inning. But again, I can spend 40 minutes on that. The offense, again, even when it finds a way to put up some runs, still manages to be atrocious. They get the first 2 on in the bottom of the 7th. Garver and Cal both miss cookies and pop up. And then Rayleigh, I think, grounded out. The 8th inning, they end up getting the bases loaded from walks and a hit by pitch. JP up 3-2 in the count. I don't even know if that pitch was ball 4 or not, but grounds out. I think it was close enough where you probably swing at it. You find a way to get that run there, probably win the game with Munoz. Bottom of the 9th. What happened? Geez, I'm not even. What happened at the bottom of the 9th? Let me check my. The bottom of the 9th. You probably got a little unlucky in some regards in the bottom of the 9th. Cal Raleigh gets the 1-out single. Luke Rayleigh hits a double that bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. I couldn't really tell, but it looked like Cal had a pretty good read on that, and I think he probably scores if that stays in the park. Certainly a close enough play where you force the Blue Jays to make 2 really, really good throws on that play. Now, it's funny because I was sitting there on Twitter going, Ryan Bliss should have ran for Cal there. But the problem was they got so crazy with the bench because Julio ends up pinch hitting for Victor Robles in the 8th. But then Julio his hamstring still bothering him, so he can't play defense or run the bases. So Dylan Moore has to run for Julio. And it just kind of creates this tough situation. And then, I get it because Garver's DHing, Cal's catching. That's where you get hurt a little bit by having your backup catcher also be your DH. Now, it ended up not mattering because Bliss would have been stuck at 3rd as well with the ground rule double. That's like I said, that's a little bit of bad luck there that it bounced over the fence. But what's not bad luck is the atrocious garbage at-bats that Ty France and Jorge Polanco had in the ninth inning. Ty France strikes out. He sees an 88-mile-per-hour slider that was right there. All you need is a fly ball. Put that ball in play, you win the game. Nope, lets that one go and then swings at two fastballs over his head. Polanco's at-bat wasn't as bad as Ty's, but Polanco's been atrocious this year too and pops up to end the inning. Get these guys off the team. I'm done. Get rid of them. They're not worth it. Let Tyler Locklear play. Let Ryan Bliss play. Do I think... Now, let me be clear. Do I think calling up Locklear to play first and Bliss playing second guarantees the Mariners are going to stay ahead of the Astros? No, I don't. I don't think that does enough to like win you the division, but I think it does enough to send a message. Get these guys out of there. Those at-bats were so bad. And listen, it's like Mitch Garver had some tough at-bats later in the game. He actually had a nice walk in the 10th, but a tough at-bat in the 7th. But he's been swinging the bat better since June. His WRC plus, I think, is over 125. Hit the 3-run home run today. Like, I'm a little bit more forgiving with that. It is. Like, some guys get, I understand. Even JP. JP had an atrocious at-bat in the 8th and an atrocious at-bat at the 10th. I'm not calling for JP to be off the roster. He's been frustrating, too, and hasn't done what he needs to do. But no. But Ty France and Polanco are replaceable. They are replaceable right now, and it isn't going to get worse. And I'd at least rather grow and watch Tyler Locklear struggle and Ryan Bliss struggle than watch France and Polanco. Get them out of here. Send a message. You've got a day off tomorrow. Get them off the team. I've been patient. You guys know I have. You guys can attest to it. I talked earlier in the year. Ty France Savant page looked pretty good. Looked like drive line was working. He was turning it around. Then he fell back down. Then he kind of heated back up before the injury. Maybe he's still hurt. I don't know. That's not my job. That's on the coaching staff, the medical staff, and the front office to figure out, not mine. He started looking a little bit better, then got hurt, and he's been atrocious since coming back. I've been patient with Jorge Polanco. He's had a really good career. He has been a good hitter in his career. It wouldn't shock me if he went somewhere and tore it up. Don't care. I don't care anymore. I was patient. He was hurt. Was letting him miss time. Comes back. Gets hurt again. Okay. Let him go on a rehab stint. And I said, let's see if we got something in Polanco. Maybe a little rehab stint, work on the injury, get healthy. Maybe he's fine. No, get him done. I'm done. Or let, if it's not Bliss, let Dylan Moore play second and send Bliss down. I don't care. But done with both of them. Top of the 10th, poor Colin Snyder. Listen, it's not Colin Snyder's fault. Frustrating that he gets Turner out and then he gets Bichette out. And then it's... why is there a thumbs up appearing on the screen? I don't know what that's about, but I'm recording this on a Mac without my stuff, so a thumbs up just popped up. So someone's agreeing. Someone out there in this world is agreeing with my takes right now. I don't know who's watching. Them. The government's watching. And then Dalton Varsho sneaks one right over the head of Polanco. Not right over the head, but kind of dinks one in. Listen, the ground rule double going over the fence. Varsho's bloop dropping in. There is a little bad luck there. And I'm not going to get on Colin Snyder. He's actually been really good. The ghost runner scored. It happens. You should still be able to bounce back and score that run in the 10th inning. You should still be able to. Snyder's been pretty good. I'm not going to get on him. It's frustrating that it's Varsho who robbed the team the last 2 days of hits. Bloops one in there after you get the first two outs. There's nothing more frustrating in extra innings than getting those first two out and then giving up the run. And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered because the Mariners didn't score in the 10th anyways. And you can say, well, Jay, they didn't need a sac fly, but a sac fly would have tied it. It at least would have extended the game, so they still kind of did. We get to the 10th inning. Mitch Haniger strikes out. Mitch Haniger's another one. I'm a little more, not patient, actually, because Haniger's been worse, truthfully, overall. I love Mitch Haniger. I think listen, all these guys are working hard. None of this is personal. Let me be clear on that, because I know, some of these guys might be your favorite players and stuff. It's not personal. I 100% guarantee you Ty France is working his butt off. I guarantee you Jorge Polanco is working his butt off. At least I hope they are. I assume they are. They're professionals. They've succeeded at this level. You would assume they are. I know Mitch Haniger is too, but it's not working. I'd rather watch Cade Marlowe, Jonathan Clase. At least there's some speed. There's some outfield defense, and they're not going to hit much worse. Cabrera threw Haniger some really good pitches. He did. But another at-bat where it's just... you don't even move the runner up or anything there. Mitch strikes out. Dylan Moore does reach on what was rightfully ruled an infield hit. You have the double steal. This is in the 10th with Bliss and Moore. Good to see. I thought that challenge took way too long. I didn't understand what they were looking at. I thought it was clear as day that Bliss was on and Vlad was kind of trying to push him off. But whatever, it didn't end up mattering. JP pops up. JP has the bases loaded at bat in the 8th. He did have a base hit in the 7th, which was good, but, and then pops up in the 10th there again, sac fly. And, you at least tie the game, and we're still playing, and maybe something good happens. Mitch Garver works a nice walk. Mitch Garver had a nice game. He hit the 3-run home run. His at-bat in the 7th was rough. But, again, if he can get a 3-run home run earlier, I'm going to lay off you a little bit. And Garver has been swinging the bat better since June. He's probably been their best offensive weapon. Now, that's damning with faint praise a little bit for the Mariners. But, and that was a nice at-bat in the 10th to work that walk. That was a pitch that we've seen a lot of these Mariners swing and miss at, and he laid off of it. I'll even give Cal a little bit. He at least drove the ball to center field, hit it pretty well. It was, I think, 440 expected batting average. Now, expected batting average doesn't know where a defender's standing, and that wasn't ever in doubt that Kiermaier was going to catch it outside maybe the sun or something like that. But, kind of a wrong part of the ballpark. If that would have been Cal, if Cal would have been up with 1 out, the game would have at least been tied. Again, I'm not trying to say, oh, great job, Cal. It was a middle pitch that he should have drove. But, and honestly, what, I will get on Cal a little bit, because in the 7th inning, he came up with 2 on and 1 out, and he missed a cookie that he probably should have put in the stands 480 feet that would have won the game. Boy, I just droned on for 15 minutes. I'm sorry if I word vomited all over there, but just incredibly frustrating. I thought Scott mismanaged the 7th inning. And again, players got to execute. They do. I thought the players were atrocious. Kirby was fine. He's got to get those 2 outs in the 7th. Probably shouldn't have been in, but he's still got to get them out. Stanek's got to be better. And the offense, the situational hitting, and they've actually hit well with the bases loaded this year, crazy enough. But just atrocious today. Atrocious. So many times where you just needed a ball in play. You just needed something. Let's look at the box score a little bit here, guys. Sorry, let me just pull it up. I have to pull it up on my phone. Let's look it over, because there were some performances that were nice. Victor Robles, good to see. Gee, it's almost like Victor Robles might have been able to help last night instead of Jorge Polanco. I get it. And here's the thing, and this I think what a lot of you would make the point on too. Do I think Victor Robles is a great hitter? No, I don't. He's probably not very good. But you know what he's doing? He's swinging the bat well right now. Just play him. Ride out the hot streak. If he plays the next 10 games and does something, great. If he ends up sucking after that, then you just take that you got the 10 good games and then you can move on. I'm not saying move on, move him off the roster, but then you can put somebody else back in there. But while he's hot, just play him. It's not like you got a lot of guys playing good baseball. I can understand it if Julio was just dialed in and Mitch Haniger was hitting the ball well, and so was Dom Canzone. I get it. There's not a lot of at-bats to give. But right now, with where you're at in the season, just play him. He's the only guy hitting. Let him take the at-bats. Again, do I think Victor Robles is good? Probably not a very good hitter. It's probably just been, we're looking at a very small sample size. But ride it out. Ride out the small sample size. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? I get the matchups. I do. Guys, every manager plays matchups. Look at John Schneider. He goes to a lefty to face JP, who I believe has actually hit lefties better than righties this year. All managers play matchups. It's just something that if they fire Scott tomorrow, they're not going to. You're going to have to deal with that with whoever comes in and manages the team. But let the hot hand play. What do you have to lose? And you can even make a case having Julio pinch hit for Victor Robles. I might have let Robles have that at bat. Julio's banged up. Robles is swinging the ball well. He had the home run. He had the bunt that, yes, he should have been out. Barrios threw it away. But Robles puts the ball in play, makes something happen, gets on to second, moves the runner up to third, and you put the game in motion, things happen, then he worked a walk in his other at-bat. I mean, let Victor Robles take it and see if he does something, especially with Julio being banged up. Now, Julio ended up getting hit by the pitch, so it ended up not really mattering all that much because Julio does reach base. But then you have to use Dylan Moore in that spot. Then you're kind of stuck with Cal running. Again, these are things that didn't end up mattering that much because, like I said, in that 9th inning with Cal running, Bliss wouldn't have scored anyways because it was a ground rule double. And I get then you have to give up the DH. But at that point, kind of who cares a little bit late in the game? I don't know. But I need a breather from this team, guys. So I don't know what else to say. There's only so many moves you can make. I'm not against it. They still need to add. I'm not going to give up on a season where you are in first place. What are they, 92 games into it? Not going to. But I would be lying to you if I had very little faith right now. They'll play better. They will. They're not going to, what are they? 3-6 on this homestand, 3-6 on the road trip, 6-12 over the last 18. They're going to play better than that. They're going to win some series. They've got some bad teams on there that they'll probably beat up on. Maybe the Angels next weekend is one of those. So I do think they'll play better. But, they're going to play better than 6-12. Cool. But that isn't enough. And it's not fun. Team is not fun to watch right now. I mean, listen, anytime you lose, it's not fun. I don't know a single team that is fun while they're struggling in any sport, to be honest. And I can't even give you guys, oh, hey, they're 2 games up, silver lining. I'm not doing it. I don't have that in me. I did it yesterday because, hey, you win today, you win a series. And I can stomach that. I can say it against Baltimore. Baltimore's really good. They shut you out. Grayson Rodriguez beats you. I get it. It's still frustrating, but I get it. There was nothing today that shouldn't have happened. They actually got to Barrios a little bit. And it's like, then the offense finally does a little bit early in the game, and then the pitching gives it up. Then the pitching settles back in, and then the offense sucks. It's just a whirlwind. Oh, here's some positive. Logan Gilbert, congratulations. He is going to his first All-Star game. Absolutely well-deserved for Logan Gilbert. He will be the Mariners' lone representative. Could have made a case for Munoz. I thought he could have probably gotten in over Clay Holmes, but I'll be honest, guys, I don't really care about the All-Star game. It's cool for the players, and it's a cool thing that they get to go, so I know it means a lot to them. But just personally, I could really care less. Getting in the game or not doesn't change how I feel about a guy. Munoz is really good. Going to the All-Star game doesn't make him better or worse or anything. I'm very happy for Logan, well-deserved, but I don't put a lot of stock into it. And it's kind of telling that this first-place Mariner team only gets one All-Star a little bit. Get Victor Robles in the game. He's probably the only other guy that's deserving to go right now. I'm going to head out of here, guys. Have at it in the comments. Curse at the team. I mean, try to keep it somewhat civil. I don't, my kids watch the videos, so just keep it civil. But go at it, guys. Have at it. I'm going to duck out and go do something productive. I think we're going to have, me and the wife are going to go out for dinner or something because I need a break from baseball right now. Thank goodness they don't play tomorrow. I can't talk about this team anymore. I can't. I'm not going to take the week off. I'm still going to be here for you guys. But man, could I use it from this team because it's just draining. At least there's a lot of talking points to bring up today. So I want roster moves. I want them. I want Ty and Polanco off the team. I get it. Ty actually has the second highest OPS of the regular players. I don't care. It's still an atrocious OPS for a first baseman. Get rid of him. Get Polanco off this team. Call up Tyler Locklear. Let Ryan Bliss play. Make a roster move. See, I'm still for trading. You should still try. You're still ahead in this video. You still need to try to add something. But that's the first 2 things you need to do. Gregory Santos should be back Tuesday. That's pretty cool. Should help the bullpen. Truthfully, up until today, the bullpen I don't think has been much of an issue recently. But, today was a little bit. That was maybe a game they win if Gregory Santos is healthy. So, take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't let this team get to you. It's not worth it. It's not. It's sports at the end of the day. There's more important things in life, so try to take enjoyment in those things. Maybe I'll have something up tomorrow. Maybe me and Mariner Sir might have our video up tomorrow. We'll see if we're both in the mood to talk about this team right now. I'm not sure if he is. I don't know if I am. If not, I'll see you guys Tuesday for the post-game recap. Oh, hey, channel members, I owe you guys an apology. I have not done a lot of stuff for the members, and I know I have a couple new members now. I promise this week there'll be something. I don't know when, but I will post it in the members community notes. I'm going to have something up this week with a contest. I said I was going to do it this week. I forgot we're house sitting this week, so I just did not have a chance to do it. But there will be something coming in the next week, either for the Padres or the Angels series that we'll do. And maybe even on an All-Star game stream, something like that as well. So something like that. My gosh, do we need the All-Star break? Oh, do I need it? I know you guys need it too, and gals. Take care. Have a good night. Go Mariners. Peace.